The mechanic's arrival. The moons of Caltheron hung low over the jungle world of Aurelia, their pale light slicing through the dense mists that clung to the foliage. In the heart of the forbidden sector, amidst flora that glowed with a predatory hue and fauna that shrieked with territorial rage, a ship descended, unannounced, unwelcomed. The hull groaned under the weight of its own atmosphere-scorched journey. It was an Earthcraft, rusted, patched together from obsolete technologies, and clearly never intended to brave such an alien frontier. From within it emerged a solitary figure, a human clad in a mismatched exosuit, smudged with oil and etched with the marks of mechanical genius. His name was Colt Brenner, war veteran, ex-contractor and master mechanic. Colt wasn't here by choice. The Confederacy of Worlds had sent him on a one-way mission, blackmailed with the promise of a pardon if he could accomplish the impossible, fix the unfixable. His task lay deep inside the high fortress of Queen Virex, a biomechanical empress of terrifying power, ruler of a xenospecies known for eating humans alive. Her personal war pet, the dragon Azazex, had malfunctioned, and if Colt failed, he'd be devoured. To the alien throne. Queen Virex towered on her living throne of tendrils and pulsating flesh, her serpentine form glistening under bioluminescent spores. Her voice was not spoken but dripped into the minds of those before her like venom. The mechanic has arrived. Colt stepped forward, flanked by guards with claws instead of hands and eyes that blinked sideways. He'd seen nightmares in the war, but nothing prepared him for this gothic grandeur. "My tools," he said plainly. A drone dropped a satchel of hybrid tech and ancient components at his feet. He knelt and began unpacking, carefully avoiding eye contact with the snorting behemoth chained beside the throne. Azazex was a creature of nightmares, scales blacker than space, eyes like burning emeralds, and wings that pulsed with the hum of anti-gravity resonance. It was biomechanical, a fusion of clone dragon DNA and alien tech powered by emotion-based circuitry. When it raged, cities burned. When it screamed, entire satellites lost orbit. And now it was broken. "It does not respond," Queen Virex hissed. "I command and it lies dormant. You will fix it, or become its next meal." Colt nodded, pretending calm. "Understood." 3. The Beast and the Human. 4 days Colt toiled. He mapped Azazex's inner mechanisms, nanofiber ligaments, plasma-fueled lungs, a neural lattice that resembled a living code. The dragon watched him with suspicion at first, then curiosity. Occasionally, it would twitch as if trying to recall an old song. Colt noted that the creature's command module had corroded. The interface was too simple. Direct mental links, aggressive and one-sided. Queen Virex, in her arrogance, treated Azazex like a pet, not a partner. The systems rebelled against that. "She's using fear to dominate a being built for freedom," Colt muttered as he soldered a new subneural bridge into place. No wonder it shorted out. On the 7th night, he did something reckless. He spoke directly to the dragon. "You're not a pet. You're not broken either. You're angry. I get it." Azazex blinked once. Slowly. It was the first acknowledgement. Colt smiled. "Let's see what happens when someone asks you to respond, instead of commanding you." He attached a device, a small Earth-designed translator rig, with a biometric sync. It wouldn't force Azazex to obey. It would invite him. "Azazex," Colt said gently, "can you hear me?" The dragon growled, shook its head, and then, much to the horror of the alien attendants, it nodded. For the Queen's wrath. When Queen Virex was informed, she called Colt to her throne chamber again, this time in full view of the royal court. "You have fixed it." Colt stood before her, sweat dripping down his neck. I wouldn't say fixed. I gave him a choice. A what? He didn't need repairs. He needed respect. The court hissed. Her generals clicked their mandibles in anger. One lunged, but stopped short when Azazex uncoiled, stepping protectively between Colt and the crowd. The queen's eyes flared. You dare imply my methods are flawed? I dare say your dragon doesn't want to be your weapon anymore. In response, Queen Virex gave a sharp mental command to Azazex. Kill him. Silence. Azazex did not move. The dragon's great green eyes locked with the queen's for a long, excruciating moment. Then it turned to Colt, lowered its massive head, and let out a soft purring rumble, a sound of peace. The court erupted into chaos. Flight and fire. Colt didn't wait. Time to go, big guy. Azazex spread his wings and roared, shattering the palace ceiling as they took flight. Blaster fire trailed behind them as drones pursued, but the dragon soared like a living comet. Colt held tightly to the makeshift saddle he'd built from wiring and spare plating. You're full of surprises, Colt laughed. Below, the jungle boiled with the queen's rage. Ships rose from hangars. She declared war not only on Earth, but on her own creation. Colt had unintentionally committed treason against the hive. They needed to disappear. 6. Refuge in the asteroid belt. Azazex led them to a hidden den in the fractured asteroid fields beyond Virelia's orbit, a place he had apparently chosen long before his obedience failed. Colt, astounded, began recording his findings. He documented Azazex's emotional algorithms, his symbiotic interface, and even his preferences. He seemed to like magnetic storms and raw uranium. Days passed, then weeks. Colt built a beacon, not for the Confederacy but for anyone not stupid enough to treat intelligence like a leash. He began streaming data anonymously across the black web of interstellar resistance networks. The idea of sentient war beasts that could think spread like wildfire. And deep inside, he and Azazex began forming something rare. Trust. 7. The Queen Strikes Back. Queen Virex would not let betrayal go unpunished. She unleashed the Omega Brood, genetically designed killships, half-organic, with minds fused to her own. They swept through the asteroid belt, scorching rock and vaporizing refuge after refuge. When they found Colt's signal, they descended with lethal intent. You ready? Colt asked, climbing onto Azazex again. This time the dragon answered with a psychic pulse. Always. What followed became legend. Azazex twisted through space like a blade, ripping through hive craft with plasma breath and gravity-manipulating claws. Colt rerouted reactor cores mid-flight, creating shockwaves and wormholes. Together, they destroyed half the Omega Brood before reinforcements forced retreat. Colt was injured badly. Azazex, instead of fleeing, flew directly into a neutron storm to lose the Queen's trackers and find shelter. He saved Colt, not as a pet obeying an owner, but as a friend. The final showdown. Months passed. Colt healed and their legend grew. Rebels, dissidents, and even a few rogue hive drones began reaching out. The Confederacy offered him money. He refused. Not until the Queen falls. Eventually Virex made a bold move. She captured a human colony near the fringe of the Terran sector and broadcasted a message galaxy-wide. The traitor mechanic may come and claim them. If he dares. Colt did dare.